Mas tudo tranquilo. Como é que todo mundo tá? Hein? Bom dia. É estranho falar bom dia. Bom dia. Vamos lá. Hoje nós temos um encontro com a Shogun. Na verdade, nós vamos terminar o encontro e depois a gente vai ter outro encontro com a Shogun. E depois a gente tem que ter outro com a garota peixe. Pra poder fazer a missão do... Esqueci o nome. A missão do desfiladeiro. Eu não consegui fazer porque eu preciso passar as duas missões delas. Enfim, não vou reclamar não. A missão da Shogun é bom. Só quero dizer que eu terminei as missões de Sumero. Missão de história. Estou pronto para ir para Fontaine. E eu só tenho a dizer uma coisa. Melhor missão de Arconde. De verdade, a melhor de todas. Na Rida, melhor Arconde de todas. Incrível. Ué? Ué? É isso, gente. Genshin crashou. Ai, meu Deus. A Genshin tá foda. Todos esses anos nessa indústria vital é a primeira vez que o Genshin crasha na minha máquina. Na minha vida inteira. E olha que eu joguei Genshin na época que nem tinha placa de vídeo no meu computador. Eu aqui super desafinado cantando a música do Genshin. Ou pelo menos tentando, né? Que cantar que é bom não dá. Tá. Só pra dar o contexto, a Shogun tava trancada no quarto dela, sendo a Hikikomori que ela é. Aí a galera tava em pânico lá, a gente foi tirar ela de lá pra trazer ela pra ver como é que é a vida real. E basicamente ela descobriu que a vida real não era do jeito que ela imaginava e fazia anos que ela tava trancada lá, então tudo mudou. Aí agora a gente vai salvar um dos caras que... É um dos caras, dos caras que trabalham com ela. E é basicamente isso. Nessa parte que eu parei. As aventuras da Shogun. Deixa eu tirar essa Yanfei aqui, eu não quero com a Yanfei. É a Bárbara.
I'll take care of it.
Eu take care of it. Bárbara, 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 Bárbara. Bárbara!
Look at how well hidden this place is.
I can't think of a reason anyone would want to build a structure like this deep in the mountains.
Pra se esconder, Shogun. Não seja inocente.
I feel something that doesn't belong here.
Você, Shogun, você não pertence a esse lugar.
We should proceed with caution.
Cara, o mais engraçado é que nessa missão teve uma hora que a gente encontrou uma light novel sobre a Shogun, escrita pela Yai Miko. E a gente viu porque, tipo, cara, isso aí tava muito na cara que ia ter. E o pior é que a Shogun gostou. Aqueles um básico, a gente pode admirar a Shogun. Acho bonito o cabelo dela. É cabelão. Cara, imagina o trabalho que deve dar pra cuidar desse cabelo. Enfim, vamos nessa. O negócio não tá bem escondido, não. Pô, porque é bonita mesmo, viu?
Perfect distance.
No touching. Blaze over. Stand clear. Animal
clear.
test 6308.
Vamos ser sinceros, só tem mulher bonita no Genshin. Mas a minha PC é bonita.
Why are they running here? This is a Tenryou commission base.
Something is not right. We must
Claramente.
remove all those who stand in our way.
Genshin é 30% mulher peituda, 30% playboy e 30% garotinhas.
To the ferry. Finally, to the ferry. It's a lucky day.
All hail.
Say no more.
E eu só quero comentar aqui que só recentemente eu reparei que realmente a Ganyu tem o quadril mais largo que as outras personagens. Eu realmente não tinha reparado nisso.
Animal test 6308. Yeah.
Não sei se vocês sabem, mas tá na lore que um bicho morreu engasgado tentando comer a Ganyu.
Swirl. Mark
Eu
2.
tô com a Shogun aqui, eu nem tô usando, né?
Shine down!
To the ferry.
Alguém me explica por que a Shogun usa a lança? Sendo que ela tem uma espada.
Finally, let's get down to business.
Carai.
Yeah.
Eu botou errado. Queria apertar o E.
Illusion shattered!
Blaze over.
Nice blade.
Access denied.
Ferry. How's this?
Shine down!
To the ferry. What a lucky day.
É rápida.
Insolent!
Finally, to the ferry.
Sim, eu acho que a Shogun deveria ser mais forte.
Now you shall perish!
Não, you shall perish.
No touching.
Não touching.
My blade. How's this?
All hail.
Ao raio.
Stand clear. Enhanced animal.
Finally,
Thunderclap.
Thunderclap.
Yeah.
Tem que ter mais gente aí.
There
let's
is
get
no
down to
escape!
business.
Caralho, não dá muito dano.
Ferry.
Tudo bem que a gente podia ganhar o personagem. Ah, tem mais? Ué? Ah tá, não, eles estão aqui dentro.
Let me try
Born of ice and frost.
Olha, a minha Ganyu tá dando quase mesmo dano que a Shogun.
No touching. Yeah. Animal test 6308.
Ai, eu vou morrer.
Swirl. Mark 2. Come on. Focus. This is long overdue.
Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered!
Ih. Morreu. Cara, eu ainda fiquei impressionado que tem elevador. E tinha. Assim, vai lançar Fontaine e eu ainda não entendi ainda não aceitei que tem tecnologia.
Technology. But who's he with?
Stay back.
Almighty Shogun!
todo mundo fala Almighty Shogun. Lógico que é o Shogun, quem mais seria?
Shogun,
Na verdade não é o
What are
Shogun,
you-
né? Ai.
Descendant of the Takatsukasa clan, explain what is going on here.
Oh, we're just discussing some minor issues that have cropped up in the Tenryo Commission recently. Really, it's nothing worth the almighty Shogun worrying about.
Será? Eu tenho certeza que ela vai ter que se preocupar com isso.
And these minor issues warranted the secluded location and the hiring of Ronin and Kairagi to keep guard?
Eita, que a casa caiu. Agora a casa caiu.
Well, there's been a lot of turmoil lately. It was just out of security considerations, that's all.
Duvido.
Silence.
Nossa.
Descendant of the Kujo clan, your turn.
Cara, eu tenho certeza que em algum momento começa a sair faísca da Shogun quando ela tá com raiva.
alright. I came here intending to negotiate, but it turned out all they were interested in was a written confession from the Kujo clan.
A written confession?
Yes, a statement acknowledging every crime committed by the Kujo clan since the inception of the Vision Hunt Decree, including all the recent misconduct.
All factual statements, of course. Not a single one of them fabricated.
I can't deny that. But it also emphasizes the Takatsukasa clan's achievements throughout the document, claiming they stood steadfast all along and fought back against the crisis.
Será?
These are all falsehoods.
Says who? Why, you two-faced... You're going back on everything you said.
Coisa vai dar errado.
I'm just stating the facts. I'm sure the almighty Shogun can discern the truth. All the Takatsukasa clan is trying to do is make themselves look good, so they'll be first in line to replace the Kujo clan. Why else would you push a false narrative in the written confession that paints your clan in a good light, and try to make me sign it under duress?
What are you talking about? You're not under duress, we're just negotiating here. You've completely changed your tune.
I believe I now understand the situation.
Isso é bom que ela entenda, porque eu não entendi ainda não.
Don't listen to his nonsense. I'm sure you're well aware of the major failings of the Kujo clan. Surely you, of everyone, knows. Not a single word they say can be trusted.
Cara, meu, os caras não tá sendo muito natural com a Shogun, não, cara. A Shogun é tipo o deus deles.
You are quite mistaken if you think your dispute is of any interest to me. Descendant of the Takatsukasa clan, you wish to become the new Tenryo commissioner. Do I understand this correctly?
Well, yes, of course. It's the eternal pursuit of everyone in the Tenryo Commission to offer our lives in service of the almighty Shogun.
Tá convencendo? Não, moço. Tá convencendo muito, não. Tenta mais.
Then the situation is not as complicated as you seem to have made it. After all, I am the one who appoints the Tenryo commissioner. The process is quite simple. Anyone who can beat me in a duel becomes the new commissioner.
Boa, gostei dessa forma de resolver. Eu acho que eu posso ser o novo comissário.
Sorry, a duel with the almighty Shogun?
The first Tenryo commissioner demonstrated his will with the blade in his hand. That is why the title has been passed down within the Kujo clan ever since. If you want me to appoint a new clan, then naturally, there must first be a new duel.
Assim, a Shogun é bem simples, né? Realmente. Eu não tinha reparado na câmera, cara, de verdade. Eu tava muito ocupado pensando em outras coisas.
Do you not know how to wield a blade? Or do you simply doubt your abilities on account of your advanced age and declining physical condition? Here you are talking about offering your life, and yet you are too afraid to face my blade.
Olha, eu também teria medo.
Well...
Well, never mind. What about one of you, then? Anyone who can defeat me, Takatsukasa or not, will be appointed the new Tenryo commissioner.
Aí é simples. Agora todo mundo vai embora, né? Ah, tô
Does
vendo.
not a single person dare to face me?
I will challenge you, Almighty Shogun.
What?
Tan, tan, tan. É isso, minha cara é a cara da Paimon. O cara vai morrer.
Descendant of the Kujo clan. Regrettably, even if you win against me, it cannot atone for the wrongs committed under the Kujo name.
I realize that. I don't stand a chance of winning against you anyway. I know full well that the mistakes my father made ought to spell the end of the Kujo clan's legacy in the Tenryou Commission. Even when I was executing the Vision Hunt decree, I had doubts about my father's decisions. I knew that what I was doing was wrong. But that was as far as I went. I doubted, and I ruminated. I understood the situation perfectly well, but I took no action, and I didn't save a single person. I accept the Kujo clan's decline as punishment for my deeds. I can't even say that I failed to prevent it, because in order to fail, you have to have at least tried.
Ele tem um ponto. Ele realmente tem um ponto.
To be brutally honest, for someone of your strength, there is nothing you could have done, even if you had tried.
Cara, de verdade, eu vou tirar esse bichinho flutuando. Ele tá muito me tirando dos diálogos. O cara não tá dando pra levar a sério.
Yes, I'm too weak. My father ignores me. My elder brother can't help me. And I even need Ippei to set me straight at times. It's the way it's always been. But if nothing else, and right here, right now in the Kujo clan's final hours, it is I who represent the clan, like my father before me. His duties are now mine to perform. Just as the Shogun said, a forefather of mine once showed his will with his sword. Then please, let me, Kujo Kamachi, end the story of the Kujo clan in the same way that it began.
Sim, vamos ser sinceros, o cara pelo menos coragem tem. Inteligência, eu duvido, mas coragem ele tem.
This is my last chance to do something.
This is patently meaningless. But I accept. Come forward.
Eu vi que eles vão resolver isso no Shogun Po. Tenho certeza que eles vão resolver no Shogun Po. Caraca, eles vão pra luta mesmo.
The Kujo clan's honor was forged with courage, tempered with integrity, and shines beyond life and death. Show me whether your blade can bear the weight of your name.
Cara, nessa rodada de lança aí eu já tinha corrido.
Ready to
Nossa, na
Almighty
hora.
Shogun.
Ai, minhas costas. Calma, minha gente, ela nem tá lutando ainda. Ela tá só brincando. É isso, acabou. Até o velho ficou impressionado. Morreu? Pô, ele não apanhou tanto assim, minha gente. Ainda dá. Por um minuto eu achei que ele ia cair nos peitos dela.
Another anomaly in eternity. Nevertheless, it appears that the Kujo honor still courses through your veins. Kujo Kamaji is wounded. Descendants of the Takatsukasa clan, it is your responsibility to take care of him. You may not have the courage to challenge me, but I trust that you are capable of attending to a small matter such as this.
Yes, of course. I apologize.
Cara,
I'm sorry.
imagina se
So
fosse a
sorry.
Narita com a personalidade da Shogun. Ia ser muito engraçado.
I had heard that the Kujo clan is no longer fit to shoulder the work of the Tenryou Commission. The search for a successor to the role of Tenryou Commissioner is indeed a matter of great urgency. However, following this duel, I have decided to postpone the Kujo clan's punishment for the time being. In the meantime, I expect the Takatsukasa clan to continue supporting the Kujo clan as before.
As you instruct, so it shall be done. We would not dare question the almighty Shogun's will.
Lógico, depois de ver o outro cara quase morrendo, né? A Shogun ali.
Finally, if you still think you can copy the Fatui strategy of providing me with deceptive information to produce flaws in my judgment, you will see me appear once again as I have done today. Only next time, my blade will show no mercy.
Caralho.
Understood.
Mulher é brava.
Thank you, almighty Shogun, for your wisdom and mercy.
That will do. I will have the Okuzumeshu continue the investigation from here. Come with me. Let's find a quiet place. There's something I want to talk about with you.
Bora tomar um café. Uns que aparecem do nada. Peraí. Chega de bicho voando. Enchi o saco do bicho voando.
When it's time to deal with the situation, you're just like the Shogun. So strict.
Um ponto. Realmente ela é igualzinha a Shogun, lidando com as coisas. Mas eu me perguntar, não seria ela? Assim, ela é a Shogun, né? Mas tipo... É aí. Só que aí é a Shogun. Não. Shogun. Ei, Shogun. É complicado. E teoricamente, o Escaramote também é a Shogun. Também é aí. Realmente muito complicado.
Oh, you think so? I thought I was rather accommodating. If it had been the Shogun, she would have decapitated Kujo Kamaji without a second thought.
Caraca.
I do believe he was prepared for that outcome. I could see it in his eyes. The Kujo clan has undergone a dramatic change from its glory days to its present decline. Kamaji is hardly a great heir to the Kujo name, but...
Olá, Kami. Como é que você tá?
he has shown me how some things
Seja
remain the
bem-vinda.
same, even as the world around them changes.
Estou bem também, estou bem. Estou vivo.
I also have you
Estou
to thank.
inteiro.
The things we experienced out on the streets, and the
Estou
photo
com
you took
tudo
of me,
funcionando.
they helped me come to this realization
Tudo
too.
funcionando como deveria. Eu acho. Tenho fé. Acredito. Velho McDonald's tinha uma fazenda. Ia, nas fazendas tinha um sítio. Ia, o mumu pra cá, pra mumu pra lá. Eu só testando o microfone, gente. Ignorem.
So what's next for the Kujo clan?
Ignorem
Will
as
they get
loucuras
to
do
carry on
VTuber.
being in charge of the Tenryo Commission?
Not a chance. Even if their heir was someone who showed promise, their past mistakes cannot be erased.
É. Acho que o esquema é botar o Thomas.
Still, I will give them a little more time. After all, they are not the only ones who have made mistakes.
Quem mais cometeu? É, ela também, né? Acho que é disso que ela tá falando.
The Shogun does not make mistakes. She is incapable of doing so. But I, as A, would like to offer my apologies.
Então a Shogun não comete erros, mas a deusa comete.
I have much
Muito
to
bom.
contemplate in the days to come. But at least, I can now see the way ahead. I think I'll leave that to the Shogun. The greatest threat to eternity is still the erosion that comes with time. As I said, the Shogun has a robust system to protect her against modification. This is because I anticipated that I myself would change over time.
Peraí, ela bloqueou as mudanças da Shogun porque ela sabia que a Rei ia mudar. E ela não queria que a Shogun mudasse. Gente, foi nada.
But I've made up my mind. So I will do what needs to be done, no matter how difficult it is. This has certainly been a memorable series of events.
Absolutely. You sorted out the Tenryo Commission, and the people in the city got to see a happy and healthy Shogun. All the awful rumors will disappear in no time. If you enjoyed your trip, we should get you out again sometime.
No need. There's no place for such things in my life.
Deixa de ser chata, mulher. Só agradece.
Also, please stop making it sound as if I somehow need the company. Okay. I'm ready to head back now. My period of solitude will now continue, but it will not last too much longer. I will leave you humans to deal with any minor issues in the meantime.
Okay, see you next time! Considering a lot of what happened was pretty unexpected, things seem to have worked out surprisingly well in the end.
É, você tem um ponto, Paimon. No final tudo deu certo.
The only thing left to do is return the past permit to Yaimiko.
Saiu, bora lá falar com a Miko. Devolver as coisas da Miko. E seguir adiante. Gritou Miko.
Miko, we're back! We had a great trip!
Assim, vocês não acham que a Miko e a Sucrosa são bem parecidas?
Did you know? Well then,
Tipo,
you'll have to tell me
visual.
all about it.
Eu tenho certeza que as duas são raposas.
How amusing. The almighty Shogun goes downtown, and suddenly she's like a wide-eyed country girl trying to find her bearings in the big city. Marvelous. What a shame I didn't get to see it for myself. It's fine. She wouldn't mind. Really, she wouldn't.
Ela gosta, minha gente, ela gosta.
So, from what you were saying, it seems that she has finally begun to comprehend what form eternity should take? That's the most important outcome of this trip. To be honest, I wasn't expecting you'd make such great progress when I lent you the pass permit.
Yeah, it seems like she's not gonna force everything to stay the same way anymore.
Não sei se isso é uma boa coisa.
To put it
Talvez
nicely,
seja.
even deities indulge in wishful thinking. To put it more bluntly, there are things that even the Seven can't do when faced with something even more powerful than themselves. Take a guess.
Eu acho que não é coração.
Anyway, it sounds like you had a very pleasant trip. Next time you wish to see her, you can come and take the pass permit from me again. She would never admit to it, but she does, in fact, get quite lonely.
Tsundere. A Shogun é uma tsundere, gente, é isso.
What? But she said she doesn't need company.
Because she is a god. It's not that gods don't need the company of others, just that the idea of a god having company seems indulgent to her. But you don't belong to this world. Perhaps you are just the company she needs.
Por que ela não pertence a esse mundo? E o mais importante... Eu tô bugado, gente, peraí. Peraí que eu buguei. Pronto. Desbuguei. Se ela não pertence a esse mundo, mas o irmão dela pertence... Quem é ela? Quem é o irmão dela? Será que é simplesmente porque ela não fez mudanças significativas no mundo, mas o irmão dela fez? Não. Seguidor da tempestade Seirai. Seguidores de tempestade de Seirai 1. Dessa missão. Seguidores de tempestade de Seirai 1. Bom, eu vou ter que fazer essa missão pra poder fazer a outra. Ah, bora lá, né? Eu tenho que fazer, vamos fazer. Já que não dá pra evitar. Da Caterine. Droga, isso daqui é uma das missões que não tem voz. Blá blá blá. Blá blá. Blá 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 blá. Blá 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 blá. Blá 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 blá. Blá 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 blá. Blá 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 blá. Então agora tem que ir lá falar com os aventureiros da Ilha Serai. Enfim, acho que agora eu consigo fazer a outra missão. Consigo. Só tinha que liberar a Caterine.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Recently, the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission, and after careful consideration, we believe that...
The Traveler would be the most suitable candidate, right?
Por que será? A gente resolve tudo nesse país. Esse mundo,
Indeed, as ever.
esse universo. Tenho certeza que a viajante vai resolver o problema do Honkai Impact também.
I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help? Well, let me go over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Towns are attacking the roots of the sacred sakura nearby Mount Yogo in great numbers.
Então a gente vai ter que salvar a grande Sakura. Não faço ideia do que é a grande Sakura.
Rift Hounds? On Narukami Island?
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. But this time, they are attacking in alarming numbers with great aggression and a clear target. The sacred sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust you are aware of this already? Good. Then you can see that this case is very urgent indeed.
Is the Tenryu Commission aware?
Yes, and they are already taking action of their own. However, given that the sacred sakura's root system is vast and complex, and faced with the unpredictability and scale of the Rift Town's attacks, they are finding it difficult to defend against them. Their main priority is to protect the civilian population, so they are actively looking to cooperate with all other available forces to eliminate the monsters.
Minha missão vai ser simplesmente acabar com os monstros.
The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryu Commission with their work. But so far, the combined efforts to combat the Rift Towns has failed to substantially ameliorate the situation. You have our deepest gratitude. Your confident response puts me far more at ease. I will mark on your map the areas where Rift Town appearances have been recently reported. I hope you won't encounter too much trouble overcoming them.
Relax. We'll be back before you can say Ad Astra Abasosk.
Duvido. A gente vai se ferrar com esses bichos. A gente sempre se ferra com esses bichos. Tudo longe aqui, minha gente. E o pior de tudo é o longe do tipo... do outro lado do mapa. Muitas vezes tem um mar no meio. Tem muitos lugares aqui que eu não fui ainda porque tem um mar no meio. E eu não lembro como é que faz pra usar o barquinho. Eu lembro que tinha um barco. Agora onde que ele tá? Eu não faço ideia.
They're attacking the sacred sakura! Stop them!
Horn of Ice and Frost. Access denied. For Rex Lapis! No touching! We're waiting.
Ih. Tem mais, boa.
Absorption test. Stand clear.
Pô, eu achando que tava batendo no
Let's dance.
boss, eu na verdade tava batendo no...
Come on. We can do it.
Oh, we can do it.
Take this.
Sabe se esse cara no abismo. Esses dias que eu tava vendo uma teoria de que o oitavo deus não tem bate.
Absorption test. Enhanced animal module 75.
E eu acho que provavelmente esse oitavo deus é a viajante. Assim, eu também tô suspeitando que a viajante e o irmão dela não são irmãos de verdade.
Wow, there are so many of them. No wonder the Tenryu Commission needed help. Come on, traveler, you can take them.
Então por que você me chama de Traveler?
No touching. This is long overdue.
Protect us. Hi. Oh, oh, hi.
Acho que acabou.
Torn to oblivion!
Olha só quem decidiu dar as caras.
Shogun? Wait, no. Could also be A.
Oh, it's you two.
O que você veio fazer aqui?
It has been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Na verdade foi há 5 minutos atrás, mas vamos fingir pra levar a história adiante.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them. That was amazing.
I'm making early preparations for what is to come.
E o que está por vir? Ei, o que está por vir? O que você tá aprontando, manhã?
Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never understood in the past.
Tô confiando nela não, viu?
Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the outside world.
É uma boa, é uma boa. Sair pra caminhar é bom. Ideias.
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself?
Tracei, isso você não quer confessar.
Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred Sakura by numerous rift hounds. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you. If the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Why? Because she's just a puppet?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the Tri-Commission.
Faz sentido, faz sentido.
But rift hounds attacking the sacred Sakura. It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
Será que ela tá falando de Cainha?
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma.
Onde mal morreu?
Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely escaped being obliterated entirely. The monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil, and the Rift Hounds were always their advance guard.
O nome disso é trauma, gente. Está lembrando das coisas que aconteceram.
Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts. So you've heard of it too.
Eu acho que todo mundo já ouviu falar.
That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one.
Ah, não, eu teria feito pior. Tenho pena
But
não.
an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together.
Peraí, eu tenho a sensação de que existia um oitavo deus. Era tipo um deus das trevas, ou deus do abismo. E ele foi apagado da Irmisum, como se nunca tivesse existido. Só que não conseguiram apagar ele direito. Tipo, ele ainda existe.
From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more monsters nearby. All of them must be eliminated.
Paimon feels so safe when we're in Ace Company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kinda makes you feel invincible, doesn't it?
Mas, irmão, você tá do lado de uma pessoa que é praticamente invencível.
Oh yeah, after we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask us more about Conria? This color! It's similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage. Let's follow it. It should be this way.
Que a felicidade do Genshin é botar uma seta pra gente. Não adianta os caras colocar marca, colocar o esquema de você ver as coisas usando a visão elemental. Eles têm que literalmente botar uma seta dizendo aqui, é aqui que vocês têm que ir. E ainda assim eu vou ser capaz de me perder, quer ver? Deixa eu ativar isso aqui já. Já que eu tô aqui, vamos ativar o negócio. Caraca, até onde foi os bichos?
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back to health.
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing?
Se chama material radioativo, pai.
Huh? What's this? Could they be dead people? It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen ghosts on our journey.
Ela tem um ponto. Se eu quer a segunda vez.
But why would they appear here?
Eu acho que tem a ver com a raiz.
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
Ah, eu acho difícil que a gente descubra alguma coisa.
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
What happened here? Could you tell us?
A questão não é se ele pode contar, é se ele pode ver a gente.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you there's no escaping them. We will defend Inazuma until our dying breath.
O que aconteceu, moço?
You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness.
Ah, ele tá vivendo no passado.
Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They are merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path.
Bem que ele tá vivendo no passado, acho que já tava na cara, né?
Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you,
Every day,
they'll devour it
I'm a
all.
little closer to sneaking. Working my fucking toaster.
But look, none of that seems to be going on around here.
Relaxa, pai, irmão, é só uma memória.
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. Now, there's no time left.
Isso, Paimon, foge, Paimon. Eu sei que você quer fugir, Paimon.
The almighty Shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely on but ourselves. I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing left at all.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's... the Shogun?
Por que a Shogun tinha abandonado eles na época?
You're back! Please, we beg you. You have to help us. You have to save Inazuma. Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma will be reduced to a hunting ground for the beasts.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
Over? But What do you mean? Shogun?
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace, as you will no doubt remember. There are no monsters, nor is there anything else here that could threaten your life.
Ou morte, no caso dele.
What? But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down. Everything's fine now.
Assim, bem não tá, mas tá melhor do que poderia estar. Se você olhar pra sua mão, você vai ver que você tá meio translúcido. É porque você morreu.
I think I understand. Almighty Shogun, you saved Inazuma. Yes, we were right to place our trust in the Almighty Shogun. As long as the Shogun is with us, Inazuma will last for an eternity. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
Vá para a luz. Vá para a luz.
What's wrong with him?
He's gone.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about. But somehow, Paimon feels all sad and hopeless.
É, o Paimon realmente foi bem triste isso. Não gostei.
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was a samurai's memory that was buried in the land. The sacred sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the Rift Hounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the trunk and formed a physical entity. An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified, it presents in the form of a memory.
É. Faz sentido. Então, basicamente, as memórias de todo mundo que morreu e tá enterrado ali tá dentro da Sakura.
Purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for too long.
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing at this moment?
Faz sentido.
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now was precisely the disaster that happened in Inazuma 500 years ago. Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others came from the now fallen kingdom of Kanria.
Ele tava atacando. No caso, o abismo, provavelmente. Apesar que não, o abismo, acho que ele foi criado bem depois, né? Tipo, 100 anos depois da queda de Kenri.
The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late. Otherwise, it would spread to all of Tevat. But my friend, Kitsune Saiku, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting Inazuma and mobilize all forces at her disposal to combat the threat. I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in Kanria?
Muito estranho, não?
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life to protect the people. I never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe that she kept her promise to me
Kitsune Saigu.
until the very
Achei
last.
que era Yai.
But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day, both on the land itself and in my heart.
O danado isso aqui começou a ficar triste, viu? Não gostando não, quero ir embora.
Hey,
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss. All my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time, powerless to keep the ones I cherished alive.
O negócio tá ficando muito triste.
But after my clash with human ambition, I thought long and hard. Now I realize I cannot fixate on the past forever. When I traveled around Inazuma with you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the centuries. A glimpse of human potential. Everything far exceeded my expectations. Moving forward inevitably invites further loss, but also new encounters.
Ela tem ponto.
Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward.
Desistir e cair no chão normalmente não ajuda muito, então é melhor a gente seguir em frente.
All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. But perhaps the future they were hoping for is not the eternity that I once strove for. As Inazuma's god, it is high time I honored their wishes. Warriors of the past, who spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in this earth. I will never forget you, and all that you did for Inazuma.
Se não fosse por essa galera, Inazuma tava ferrado. Mas essa história está me trazendo mais dúvidas do que respostas. Por que estavam atacando Inazuma ao mesmo tempo que Kain recaiu?
he's taking all this pretty hard.
Come on. Let's keep investigating the damage to the sacred Sakura.
Nossa, a gente não tem que investigar o dano, a gente tem que voltar a investigar Kain. E toda essa história do cataclisma. Tem algo muito errado nessa história do cataclisma. Alguém tá deixando de contar a história aí.
As expected, there are a load of Rift Hounds here too.
Leave them
Bom,
to
agora eu
me.
vou ter que lutar usando a Shogun só.
Shine down. There is no escape.
Acho que eles botaram assim pra não ficar muito mais fácil. E se eu tivesse Shogun e a viajante, a coisa tava ferrada. Os bichos iam sobreviver a um segundo.
Now you shall perish.
Ah, voltou.
Something seems wrong with A.
Why would you ask that?
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish! Vaporize them all in one go, no?
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy.
Será?
Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time. I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters lying in wait in this area, I must make sure I have the strength to face them.
Eu acho que não é bem assim.
Ah, makes sense! Spoken like a seasoned shogun. The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need to tell the Yashiro Commission about this. Hey, the same light is leaking out again.
Tem um velho cego.
Furuyama? Is that you?
Quem é Furuyama? É surdo também.
Almighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant land.
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds like this guy's talking about 500 years ago, too.
Meu irmão, eu achei que essa altura do campeonato você já ia ter entendido.
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a tea master and a member of my retinue.
Por que a Shogun tem um secto?
Though blind, Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of the very finest tea in all of Inazuma.
Então o cara faz chá. É isso que o cara faz. Chá.
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in Your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me. It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest.
Exatamente. Paimon e viajante.
I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest.
Senhor, não tem cadeira aqui não. Desculpa. E eu acho que a Paimon não senta. Eu não sei nem se ela deita, mas...
After all, it's quite a mess out there.
What should we do? Yeah. Sheesh. There's monsters everywhere out there. It's pitch black and loads of people have been injured.
I see. So, they have fought their way this far already. Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless to me. So, I decided to stay. And now the Almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away.
Pra luz, velho. Vá pra luz.
Imagine if this was something that even the Almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then?
Ele tem um ponto. Se nem a Shogun é capaz de resolver, nem os deuses são capazes de resolver, não tem muito o que fazer. É sentar e esperar a morte.
People flee out of a desire to live on. And the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life.
Na moral, essa missão tá falando mais comigo do que eu gostaria. Eu tô nessa história aí e não tô gostando.
But me, I have no such thoughts, and I have no regrets. The Almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over tea.
Então quer dizer que aí tem sonhos?
Just listening to her stories. I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. Over time, I've come to understand her mindset. Quite the romantic at heart, a true dreamer. One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears completely over the passage of time. And so, people must make the most of the life they have, seize the chance to enjoy it while it lasts, and have no regrets in the end.
Bom conselho. Viva a sua vida, seja feliz. Faça aquilo que você precisa fazer. Não deixe para amanhã.
So you see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced countless wonderful things in life, and have no reason not to be satisfied.
É isso, gente. Eu quero ser esse velho quando eu ficar mais velho. Um velho sem arrependimentos, feliz da vida. Diferente de todos os velhos que eu conheço na minha vida.
Perhaps you are right.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the almighty Shogun for the last time. Ah, what a pity. I'll never get to see what Inazuma looks like after the almighty Shogun rebuilds it anew. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. But to me, it went dark a long time ago. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled old so-and-so by then. So, never mind, eh? Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content and forgetting to serve the tea.
Chá, velho, você não tem mais como servir chá, não. Você nem consegue segurar uma caneca mais.
The almighty Shogun comes to
Quem
visit
diria
and I
fazer
don't have
chá?
the tea ready. A truly egregious loss of decorum. One moment, I'll just... Where in the world is the tea set?
Morto. Infelizmente o conjunto de chá não reencarnou com você não, velho. Vai pra luz.
I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure.
Pior, velho. Quebraram você.
Can't see a tea set anywhere around here.
Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, what a fool I'm making of myself. I couldn't possibly have my guests fetch it themselves. That would be most discourteous indeed.
Don't worry about it. Take a rest. We'll be back right away.
A gente realmente vai pegar um conjunto de chá pro fantasma fazer chá pra gente.
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No, no, no. Your humble servant implores you, not with the war raging outside.
This place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea house in your memories.
Exato. Sua casa de chá não existe mais, moço. Mil perdões.
Leave it to us.
Talvez exista, mas você não é mais o dono dela.
But... Well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I need the almighty Shogun to personally collect my tea set for me. I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final stroke of good fortune.
Com o melhor. É com a sorte, velho.
Where should we go to find a tea set? Having a cup of tea isn't exactly the most urgent thing to do right now. But at the same time, this lovely old man from 500 years ago...
Droga, cancelei o diálogo da Paimon. Sempre esqueço que se eu abro o menu, eu cancelo o diálogo. Eu vou viajar meio na Azuma pra poder pegar um
I'm
conjunto
also
de chá.
feeling very nostalgic for his tea.
Oh, why don't we go to the...
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
Chá. A gente veio pegar o seu conjunto de chá emprestado.
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. I'll fetch that for you right away. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the tea set. I'll bring that here as soon as it's ready.
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler. Please, fetch the tea set at your convenience.
Ah, Fukui, como é que você tá? Estou bem, e você?
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Ué. Cadê? Enfim, não achei. Tava procurando o botão aqui, mas não achei não. Sumiu. Sumiu.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he described didn't sound anything like you at all.
Lá, o cara descreveu uma Shogun que não é nem um pouco parecida com a
I
Shogun.
seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial arts. So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon, who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto.
Ah,
He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it.
já naquela época ela fingia que tinha outra. Fingia ser uma única pessoa.
The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality. She always saw things that way.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us. In her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The
Basicamente,
yearning for a
ela
better
não era
future held
arconte
by
da
living beings.
eternidade, mas sim o arconte dos sonhos.
They are similar, but not identical.
Fale-me mais sobre isso.
When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. This somewhat shook me.
Por quê?
Now, it seems like she was right, while I took the wayward path.
Você não tem essa história de caminho certo e caminho errado, não. São só caminhos.
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her
Makoto.
view, a dream is more
Makoto tem um som tão
imaginary,
bonito. É musical,
more
Makoto.
abstract than an ambition. An ambition is a yearning for something material or a concrete outcome. It is finite in nature and will be replaced by a new ambition in due course. Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is something innate, rooted in instinct. In other words, it is something eternal.
A eternidade da Makoto era diferente da eternidade da Raiden. Caso daí.
That's, quite a lot to take in.
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes. I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and evolving?
Realmente, é interessante pensar numa eternidade que tá sempre mudando. Tipo, as coisas são eternas, mas sempre mudando. Nesse caso, a mudança é eterna. Uma eterna evolução.
I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity she set out with. Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the conclusions she did.
Acho que não, acho que ela só passava muito tempo tomando chá.
But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, An elegantly simple one. Notwithstanding that it was also the more prudent choice, based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook.
É que elas eram gêmeas, né? Já que as duas eram iguais. Se eu não me engano, elas trocavam de lugar e governavam juntas como se fosse uma única deusa.
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity.
Não responder minha pergunta não, moça. Responde mais.
But now, I no longer cling to what was lost. I suppose that means our differences have been reconciled.
Realmente, faz sentido.
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your excellency's use.
Quer ver que o cara trouxe o melhor conjunto de chá que tinha na casa? Banhado a ouro de porcelana e os carai.
It's quite beautiful. Thank you.
Moça, a gente só precisa levar ele pra um espírito cego. Mas eu me perguntar, se ele é espírito, como é que ele ainda tá cego?
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the Almighty Shogun.
Só diz obrigado, moço. Depois você não precisa lavar a mão. Aperta a mão dela, você não vai precisar lavar a mão depois.
It's all good, sir.
Vai ficar
She's
3
actually
anos
pretty chill.
sem abraço, sem lavar essa mão. Vai falar pra todo mundo, essa daqui é a mão que eu apertei. A mão da Shogun.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
Será que alguém lembra quem é o Furuyama? Acho que ninguém deve lembrar do velho. Esse cara não tem... Tem um teleporte liberado perto. Não tem que teleportar pra aqui e daqui voando até lá. Voando eu quero dizer andando, né? Porque nem voando eu tô podendo. Só um minuto que eu vou pegar umas pedras aqui. Vamos fazer o diário de pedra. Missão diária de mineração. Pegar 10 minerais. Tá cheio ali. Então é uma boa ideia eu pegar todos que eu puder. Ih, rapaz, o velho você foi.
Hey, where'd he go? He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
Não, eu acho que ele foi pra luz, finalmente.
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long, as was the case with the memory we saw earlier.
So
Aí você foi.
we won't get to drink his tea?
Irmão, não fica tão triste, não.
We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
Eu vou chorar também.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate.
É um ponto. Na verdade, isso tudo tá sendo um grande milagre, né?
Well, this chance won't come often, and we do have a tea set. Perhaps I should try my hand at making us a pot of tea. I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. I doubt I should have any major problems doing it myself.
Eu duvido que o chá delas é bom.
The tea is ready. Please give it a try.
Quero não, moça. Prova primeiro. Se eu não morrer, eu tomo.
So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. I'm not sure how to explain it. You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me. I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who I watched pass even further back.
A galera se ferrou na Guerra dos Arcondes, né? Todo mundo ali saiu fudido.
Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably light-hearted. But now, I'd like to broach a heavier topic, if I may. The events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu, they also took Makoto away from me.
She died in that disaster too?
Yes. She went to Conria alone, without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead. But this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would remain hidden. In any case, by the time I realized what was happening, yes, it was too late. I arrived only in time to hear her dying breath. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plane of Euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. I cried bitterly. Even in those final moments, I couldn't understand her actions. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me?
Provavelmente.
It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. The tree that you know as the sacred sakura. That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about. No one questioned it, and yet its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air.
Eu tenho a sensação de que alguém andou brincando muito, mas muito com a Irmisum.
In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond Paimon's level.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land, and for its people. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful. But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, leaves some sweetness in the throat. And it's time I came to terms with it all.
Oh, while we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person...
Brother? I had heard that you were looking for your family. You mean to say that he was somehow involved in the Conria disaster?
Envolvido não é bem a palavra. Eu acho que ele tava até o pescoço na merda.
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over. And also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma, and the fate of those closest to me.
Eu não ia lembrar de nada. Não tinha nem como lembrar. Mesmo que ele estivesse lá.
So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But boy, both of you have experienced great tragedy.
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the Tea Master's memory. Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last.
Aí eu tenho minhas dúvidas. Meu Deus, só que porra é essa? Tem que pular ou subir? Pular. Pô, quer ver que a gente vai encontrar a irmã da Shogun? Certeza que o próximo espírito que vai aparecer é de alguém ou da irmã ou da raposa. Beleza. Já vi.
Once again, please leave them to me.
É isso, gente. Bora quebrar o pau.
Hey! Are you sure you're alright? You're scaring us!
Ela tá puta, mas eu acho que tá bem, né? Não acho que tá mal, não. Ela só tá querendo matar todo mundo.
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best.
Eu reparei que em Genshin tem sangramento.
There is no escape.
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
Morreram. Ah não, tem mais.
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
My apologies.
Don't worry about it. Just take a breather and get your strength back. We'll deal with the monsters. Look, that's the same light again.
Ih, rapaz, olha lá, é o
Where am
exército.
Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too. Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right. Just feeling a little stiff.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Come on, men. They're coming back for more. Let's get them.
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted to us by the gods.
Is that a vision?
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor that.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
Nobody knew where Your Excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right here with us. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the hope in our hearts. This hope is the light that will guide us out from the darkness.
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too!
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Eu acho que os fantasmas não tem muito o que fazer nessa hora.
The Almighty Shogun!
Stand clear! Animal hypostasis emulation! Let's dance! Huh. Ready, steady, go! Huh. Hi. Hi. Huh. Huh.
Ai meu Deus, o que eu fiz? Eu tô errando todos os botões, cara. Ai, o sangramento é muito rápido.
No touching! I'll protect us. Born of ice and frost, all hail!
Ainda bem que a Bárbara cura muito.
Animal test 6308. Swirl, Mark 2.
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
Não é que deu certo.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
Are you okay? Maybe you should keep resting.
I'm fine. I feel much better already.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring.
Pena que não vai servir de muita coisa, né, moço? Você tá meio morto.
The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the Almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
A galera era bem motivada, viu?
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best. But the Almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn back the tide of despair and lead us onward into the future. No matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we will always place our faith in the almighty Shogun.
Oh. Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live. With you leading us,
Assim vocês já morreram, então vocês podem duvidar da palavra dela já.
Glory to the Shogun. Glory to the Shogun.
Caraca, a galera tinha muito respeito pelo Shogun, né não?
They're gone.
It was both. The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor. The grief blinded me to how brightly they shone in their final moments. The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley lines. But even so, they are due a resolution. I owe it to them, and to all the people who have placed their faith in me to date.
Isso aí,
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now, and that's what counts.
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon, and I have neglected it for far too long. I used to think just like that samurai, that I was first and foremost a warrior, and my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone like Makoto. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done. Yes, they are. They are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud of. As the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one to hold them back.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things out.
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This will take time, but eventually, the future will bring healing to the scars of the past.
putz. Tenho certeza que a gente vai acabar com o mundo antes de tudo isso poder acontecer.
No matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to fruition. Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. It does not appear that the threat will escalate for the time being. I will leave the Tenryou and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
Alrighty then, let's move on.
Alrighty then.
It looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets her emotions must be all over the place right now, huh? She seems to have changed a lot since we last met her.
Isso é verdade. A minha era uma reclusa, agora ela tá saindo de casa, já é uma evolução. Sumiu, é isso, ela deu uma de Batman.
What's wrong, eh? Come on, keep up.
Ah, não, ela tá aí, tá quase morrendo, mas tá aí.
What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
My body. I can't move it. It looks like the situation is more serious than I thought. No need. She is calling me.
Pera. Ela morreu, ela vai morrer.
Can you help me walk? I need to go to the cave below the Grand Narukami Shrine.
É isso, gente, acabou. Ele vai morrer.
What's in there?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past and take the first steps into the future.
É muito longe? Ah, não é longe, mas também não é perto. Ui, eu consigo teleportar pra cá. Espero que eu não tenha que lutar com ninguém ali. Se eu tiver, eu tô ferrado. Para de escalar as coisas. É aqui? É mais embaixo. Mais embaixo. E a caverna? Ah, tá. E aqui? Eita, tá selado. Como é que eu entro? Isso aqui tá selado. Devia estar usando uma Claymore. É bem mais rápido. Eu fico aqui meia hora. Agora falando sério, como é que eu entro aqui?
Take this.
Como que eu entro? Um baú logo ali. Depois eu pego o baú. Deixa eu dar um jeito de achar como entrar no... Ué? Que é isso? Um mímico? Tem mímico aqui agora? Será que tem outra entrada? Eu vou perguntar pra Yai Miko aqui, às vezes ela sabe. Pô, a Yai não tá aqui. Como é que eu entro lá? passei. Não me pergunte
We're
como, mas eu
finally
passei.
here. The entrance should be nearby.
Eita, uma entrada mágica.
Whoa! Where'd that Torii gate come from?
It's getting worse again. But it's fine. I'm about to put an end to it all. This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness. It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body as I please.
Peraí, minha gente, peraí. Ela tá usando o corpo da irmã morta.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she? Makoto?
Follow me.
Where are we
Foi mal, achei que essa altura do campeonato você já ia estar acostumada. Peraí, as armas vão mudar de forma.
Paimon's dizzy. Where did we get sucked into this time?
Não pergunto, Paimon, só aceita.
This place. Look over there.
É a Shogun.
It's another A.
Caraca, é igualzinho.
We meet again, traveler. This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules.
Pera. What?
Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Wait, Paimon knows that voice. Is that the puppet?
Peraí, gente, não tô entendendo mais nada.
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct, don't you? But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion? I'm here to show you my answer. We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have shall be conducted by the blade alone.
Peraí, a Shogun vai lutar com a Shogun.
Wait. The atmosphere in here just took a turn for the worse. Are you alright now?
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my continued use of her body. As she indicates, once I started entertaining the idea of change, I became hostile in her eyes.
Ela também criou a Shogun como uma forma de impedir que ela mudasse.
But inside a realm of consciousness, I exist independently of her. She cannot affect me in this way. Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary, she appears here to confront me.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but not like this. It's a bit extreme.
Imagina se... Eu me pergunto quem ganharia numa briga entre eu e eu mesmo, na minha consciência. Não, minto, eu já sei quem ganharia.
Hey, showdown with the Shogun? Never thought we'd see that day.
The rules I set for the Shogun are... No. The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my past ideals. The very foundation stone of eternity. It shall not be easily swayed.
Isso, minha gente.
I would not try to change her if it wasn't necessary.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something?
Na verdade, pelo visto, elas gostam de resolver tudo na porrada. Tudo que eles inventam aqui é na porrada.
But they both just want the best for Inazuma.
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty, in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes the Raiden Shogun. It inherits Ei's pain, the pain of inevitable loss that comes as she moves forward. So too does it inherit her determination to reach eternity. Every action undertaken is for the sake of resisting erosion. Determination, courage, love, hatred, all of these will be degraded and distorted by the incessant flow of time. Only rules shall remain constant for eternity. Those were my thoughts when I created you. Now, they are towering obstacles that I have no choice but to overcome.
Então, terapia. Terapia ajuda.
You wish to make yourself my enemy? I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity.
Pô, espero muito não ter que lutar
And
pra valer.
I am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Raiden A. In the end, even the proud and mighty Oni maiden was cut down and disgraced.
Pô, eu vou ter que lutar.
Though your blade has been cleansed of her blood and filth, never shall it shine as brightly as it once did. There is no escape! Now you shall perish, strike dead! The Kitsune sakura blossoms that once filled the skies fell to the ground as pitch-black rain. As long as the ley lines flow, the relentless erosion of time will never stop.
She's completely recovered?
This world, a fleeting shadow. Inazuma shines eternal!
Tem que se recuperar.
There is no escape! Be gone! Absurd! The divine lightning that envelops all of Inazuma will fade silently into the clouds. There shall never be another. Never. For the rest of time. There is no escape. Transcending.
Eu com certeza ela vai recuperar a vida.
Pathetic.
Para de bater. Para de bater na tua mestra.
Torn to oblivion. Only emptiness awaits.
Have you finally defeated her?
Duvido. Essa cena é bonita, viu?
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain strong?
How the heck?
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious indeed. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living being's. including you and me.
Then, does that mean this is gonna be a never-ending battle?
Basicamente, a gente vai ficar aqui pra sempre. Pode pegar um café.
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand undertaking, one that will be resistant to erosion. If I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change, and Inazuma can never move forward. This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries, and no matter how many times we must fight, I will defeat her. 500 years ago, humanity proved their strength in battle. Here in the present, they rely on their ambition to challenge wayward practices, tear them out like the diseased wood of an old sakura tree, so that new, healthy branches might spring to life in their place. It is about time that I learned to trust them.
Tem um ponto.
I understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke are true eternity, a short moment for which the Shogun does not exist is nothing to fear. I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. However long the battle may last, it is but a drop in the ocean of eternity. I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall one day return. This is my oath. Please, be my witness. During my absence, I place everything in Miko's hands.
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
Porra. Ela me jogou pra fora. Fudeu. E agora a gente vai voltar aqui com a Miko pra poder salvar as duas.
Looks like we got kicked out. Oh, what do we do? Are we really just gonna leave A and the Shogun to keep on duking it out in there forever? She was making sense, and maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still... Right? Also, A can be pretty stubborn at times, and has a history of rushing into difficult situations. What if she gets too obsessed with winning, and she forgets why she's there in the first place? It could happen, and then she might never leave again. Yeah, we should help her out, like we did last time. The quicker she gets through this, the better.
É isso, bora
Is there
lá.
any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her win the fight? Well, whatever. We can't let anything bad happen to A while she's in there.
Bem, a gente vai ter que ir atrás da raposa.
Oh, but we also can't get in there anymore.
A raposa pode.
Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice. Don't fail Paimon now. Okay, maybe if we both ram into it at the same time really, really hard. Oh, you're right. Paimon nearly forgot about her.
Ai, o que não seria de mim sem a Paimon?
Who knows if she really
O
understands
que seria de
these
mim sem a
consciousness
Paimon?
realm plane thingies more than we do, but there's no one else we can turn to. All right, up the mountain we go.
É isso, vamos lá subir a montanha. Ah, boa. Já me jogaram aqui em cima sozinho. Ainda bem, eu não queria ter que subir isso aqui tudo de novo, não. Lá é Miko. Mais problema pra tu.
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess. You're all tangled up in another situation and need me to unravel it for you.
Exatamente, envolve sua namorada.
I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
Aceita, aceita. É tua namorada.
You're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech, do you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase. The sheer audacity.
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened. It's A. She...
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an end date.
Ela não tá muito de boa com isso. A sensação de que aconteceu antes.
Impossibly stubborn. Jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable. Presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing short of the very peak of her abilities. Yes, that sounds like A all right. You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now? Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help? Who gave you that idea?
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose, for sure.
Aha, you're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness than you do. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura, and from what I've heard, it's a little different from A's plane of euthymia.
Because Raiden Makoto is no longer alive?
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. You're the ones who have actually been there, so you tell me. What was it like? Anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little difficult to explain things later on, that's all.
Bom, então ela vai explicar tudo de novo pra gente depois.
First things first. Follow me to the entrance.
Ah, então ela claramente consegue entrar. Bom, porque eu não sei como entrar de novo. Não sei nem como entrar na caverna de novo. Dirá entrar de novo no reino. Vou ver se será mais fácil do que eu imaginava. A porta estava aberta.
Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how crafty I need to be. To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, I'm A's familiar, so I can sense her rough whereabouts. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location of this realm, I can still send you to where A is.
Olha, essa daí tem bastante surpresa, viu?
So, it's abstract, but has a location, but you don't know where it is, but you can still send us there.
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Right now, she is surrounded by chaos. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time. This is precisely why when entering the plane of euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness in a physical object first.
What? Alright, well, Paimon's staying here then. You two can go in.
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
You... Paimon's had it up to here with both of you! Oh, fine. Paimon's coming too.
Ah, então a gente convenceu a Paimon aí também. Muito bom, Paimon.
Oh, well, if
Continue
you're quite
assim.
sure, then of course. Now, I shall send you on your way. I say. Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have been confirmed. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination. Well then, the door's open. Hop on in.
Vamos nós.
I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond if anything happens. I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake and for Inazuma's, please, bring her back.
E como que a gente vai fazer isso, mulher?
Go. You better know what you're doing.
That's enough chatter. Get to work.
Eu não faço ideia de como é que eu vou trazer a Shogun de volta. Se é que tem como trazer a Shogun de volta. A gente de vez em quando gasta um dinheiro, não é não?
Remember
Caraca.
to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Esse cara economiza onde tem que economizar, mas quando precisa fazer uma coisa bonita, eles sabem fazer. Quem é quem? Eu já não sei mais quem é quem. Quem é Ei? Quem é Shogun? Quem sou eu? Pra onde eu vou? De onde eu vim?
How can this be?
Meu namorado. É sempre seu namorado. Se alguma coisa estranha acontece, só aparece onde não deveria, a culpa é da sua namorada.
You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years? This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too.
Gente, para com esse negócio de admiração. Vamos só sair daqui, pelo
You
amor de
bring
Deus.
honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity. Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago.
Let's go!
Final duel? So you're finally willing to... Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new. The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the rise and fall of nations. Energy consumed, great enough to vaporize the oceans and turn day into night. And the will of man, sufficient to penetrate minds and crush dreams.
Do nada, ela cresceu o braço. Ela é uma marionete, né? Faz sentido.
I will endure forever.
Não vai ajudar muito, né? Pera, antes de acabar com ela. Deixa eu dar uma olhada pra essa roupa aí, que eu achei bonito.
Final calamity.
Caraca, muito bonito.
Tear down obstacles!
Realmente, muito bonito.
This is the end. You have won. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit.
É, a Shogun foi bem construída. Diferente de um certo Scaramucci, que tinha um certo probleminha. É,
But a
Scaramucci.
will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future. You need not worry about the future, and you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within Muso Ishin. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me, to encourage me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power. This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps
Os caras tinham que botar agora, tipo, 3 horas depois. Os caras botam uma legendinha minúscula aqui. Makoto, a Shogun anterior. Porra, se eu não entendi 3 anos depois deles falando Makoto, eu não ia entender agora, né?
When I clasped Muso Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once again. It was at once a familiar feeling, and a strange one. Makoto barely wielded a blade in her life, and yet, her blade brings me closer to her.
Quero que a câmera tá mais bonita ainda com esse brilho.
You have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules.
Yeah!
From this day forth, this body
Ganhamos,
will
gente. É
remain your
isso. Agora a gente
assistant.
pode rodar surdo. Tudo alter table. Como é que não é?
I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me. Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, I should not regard you as a mere tool. You truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth.
É isso, ela deixou de ser criança.
I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow. The duties I perform will not change. But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again in the future. Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat? It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Ela gostou de apanhar.
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces. Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me. But... you never mentioned this to me. Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness. Did you know what was about to happen in Conria? I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore. In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the meantime. But I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm sure you must have wanted to shed tears many times along the way. Don't look down on me. See? You admit it.
Do nada o bagulho ficou bonitinho.
It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to soothe Inazuma's pain.
Porra da árvore, quer ver que é a porra da Sakura?
Here, take it. Before my last shred of consciousness fades away. But it is you who must take the most important step.
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh? Is it really? Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future. Nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh?
Sakura começou nesse momento e ela existiu sempre. Interessante.
Goodbye, Makoto.
So the A of the present planted the sacred Sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past. No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more profound than mine. Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time becomes murky.
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. So that was the turbulence I was sensing. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this point in time without any problems. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely disappeared.
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything, it's that seed.
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
I know what you mean. Perhaps a higher power really was involved in all of this. But whatever the explanation, her solution is what saved us all. Without the sacred Sakura, Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up centuries ago by that disaster and the filth.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred Sakura, but to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred Sakura and Makoto's consciousness, but unfortunately, you never did persuade me, did you?
É que agora ela conseguiu convencer.
No. But I understand why now. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted then.
Aí você me pergunta como é que a planta é plantada depois ela crescer. Primeiro existe a árvore, depois a árvore é plantada.
The sacred Sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like it.
Ugh. Now we see who's pulling the strings.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today. And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in that same time, centuries of battling took place on the inside, did it not? Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you? At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies in the flow of time within that space. Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection of all that you were wishing for. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately help A. So this time, it looks like thanks are due to you.
E quando é que não é a gente que salva essa desgraça desse mundo?
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel?
Eu acho.
We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside, so it was a great shock to me when the traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma?
Essa daí também, viu? Só pensa em desastre, cara. Calma, mulher.
It turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome. You too have my thanks. You have done much
Cara,
for
essa
me.
história tá me trazendo mais teorias sobre quem é a viajante.
A, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your emotions. Have you managed to calm down? After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward. I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could unfold, all the way back then. She even factored my immaturity into her plan. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day. I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again. That's amazing!
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you
É
and
isso, gente.
Inazuma
Estamos chegando
finally
ao final.
emerge from the shadows cast by the events of centuries past. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future, and both are indispensable.
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you. I graciously accept them.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Makoto said the exact same thing!
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to maybe
Olha o
take
olhar,
the position
maluco.
of Shogun for a couple of days?
O olhar da Shogun de eu vou te matar, desgraça.
Actually, no. Forget that.
Cara dela,
Far
mano.
more trouble than it's worth.
Cara dela, já vou te matar, eu vou te prender, eu vou te botar no meio daquele negócio, vai ficar presa na eternidade.
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work to be done. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand. Then, we will give careful consideration to the future.
É isso, gente.
After that, I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
O que era o decreto Sakoku mesmo, que eu não lembro?
Really? That's huge news!
Eu já nem lembro mais da história há tanto tempo.
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock and key.
Ah, esse decreto.
I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma. I'm looking forward to it.
Bem, é isso. Nós salvamos aí. E com isso salvamos Inazuma. E mais uma vez o dia é salvo graças a viajante. Vou deixar as duas ficar aqui.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. Makoto's gaze was always fixed on the people of Inazuma. I always assumed it was because that was her duty. But now, I see that hers was a gaze full of delight and hope. It was not just a duty, but a joy, too. She loved humanity very dearly.
If the people of the past deserve the god's attention, then so do the people of the future.
Indeed. No longer will I ignore their passions and dreams. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
É isso, gente. É isso. Acabou.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
Acabou. Acabou a história. Acabou a live. E por hoje é só. Bye bye.